Howdy, howdy, everybody, and welcome back. So, we have just gotten back from talking with the bank, with our banker, and he was able to get us a $1 million loan. Now, with that being said, he's expecting to see it get paid back pretty quick. But with a $1 million loan, let's pull up the map. All right, so this is what we have currently. Our intention is, or with the loan, was to buy these three pieces of property. In doing so, that vastly increases the area we have. So that's another 9.8, 9.9, 9.2. So another 29 acres. Um, that we can uh, harvest or work. So that leaves us with a decent chunk left in the bank. Definitely going to leave us room to work. So first things first, let's look at the vehicles we have. We still got our little bitty mower. That's just not going to cut it. So let's go ahead and sell it. And we didn't get much from it. We didn't have a lot in it either. So, but we got that sold off. We do still have the Mac. The Mac, in all honesty, I mean it's slow, but it gets the job done. Now, as far as what we've been doing, we've just been renting a trailer um, to haul uh, the silage off, and then returning it as soon as we're finished. So let's for one, we're going to need a tractor to actually make the field. It is a fair bit larger, so let's go with something that's going to have the power to pull a bit larger of a plow than. Um, I mean, it's not going to make much sense to do 30 acres with a 1.2 meter plow. I mean, that just doesn't make sense to do. So, in all honesty, we're as far as plow goes, we're just going to rent it. We only need it for a short period of time. Um, so we're going to look at this guy right here, 15 meters, um, and that's going to require a tractor that's got 320 horse. So let's go ahead and lease that. And next, we are going to need something to plant the grass. We already got seed sitting out, sitting on the property. And again, while we could do plant the field with this little bitty 3 meter planter, let's go with something a little bit bigger. It's going to make things faster. Um, and again, we're just going to rent it. Um, so let's see, 300 horse. Okay, so the tractor I had in mind is going to be plenty. Um, all right. So that's, yeah, it's going to cost a little more to rent it, but that's all right. Let me make sure that actually, hang on. Yep. Okay. And I just realized everything's being delivered at the. It's not actually being delivered to us. It's still down at the dealership. So, but now the next deal is we're going to need something to mow. We are. Let me take a step back. We're going to need to figure out what we're going to be using for mowing Because if we can use the same vehicle that we're going to be mowing with and doing the pickup, uh, it just makes things easier. So let's look at mowers. And actually, what I'm thinking about doing is this guy right here. Now, we could go crazy and click that, and now we're making a 50-meter pass. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to stick with standard, but the main reason why I'm going with the unrealistic version is just because of the speed. We are going to throw the camouflage on there, just to make things a little bit a little bit nicer. So this, I mean, yeah, this only requires 60 horse. This is going to mow 3 times the width of the little mower that we're using originally, which is definitely going to make things faster. Plus the fact that we're going to be able to move at 31 mile an hour with the mower at least is definitely going to speed things up. So we are actually going to go ahead and buy that. Now, might be wondering what I have in mind as far as truck goes. But first and foremost, let's go ahead and um, pick up a forage harvester or forage wagon. And I'm thinking we go with this guy right here. 150 horse. We're not going to be restricted by speed. So I am going to open this up just a little bit. I'm going to knock it up to the 5 meter just so we don't run into an issue of missing something while we're turning. So we're still reasonable money, right at basically 105. So let's buy that. All right, now we've knocked down a decent bit. We're actually fixing to knock quite a bit back. So the vehicle we're going to be using. It's a truck I've used quite a bit, a U-Mog. We are going to put the big engine in it. Now, don't know what that does, but front loader. All right. Now let's change the color up. This guy, I actually like doing the olive green on this guy. I don't know why, and then I also like doing it in the matte. Um, so this is going to be our workhorse, and in actuality, we could get rid of the Mac, uh, because this truck has the fifth wheel. So I think we probably will get rid of the Mac, just to make things easier on us. I mean, we don't need the Mac if we got this for um, pulling the semi trailer. So, all right, so let's tab down to the UMOG. And first and foremost, let's go ahead and we're going to grab um, so we got the planter, we got the mower. We'll run these up to the farm. We'll come back, get the plow and the forage wagon. But I'll bring you guys back once we get everything moved up there. So, all right. So we are up here back at the farm. We've got everything moved up here. Now, on a side note, um, recently the UMOG, or I think, no, it's not, the U400 Mercedes, where the forge wagon is hooked up. It actually used to hook up. Let me hop out so it's easier to point. It used to actually hook up on top with the PTO shaft going through it. And it's just nice to see that since this last update or yeah update on the mod, um, it's fixed that. So now it is properly showing. So all right, oops, G. So uh, let's drop that and we will hook up, put it on the rear. Now, in theory, actually, I wonder something. If this works, it's going to save so much time. Because I think both of these are 15 meters. And I should have the power still to be able to use both at the same time. If this works, it's going to make my life a whole lot easier. So what I'm doing is going to plow with the front, or plow with it being on the front, and plant all at the same time, provided it works. So, all right, let's refill cedar. All right. So let's open. I'll create field. Steering assist. Okay. Well, I did not think that through. So, in that case, well, oh well, we will just drop that off and we will get it all plowed. We'll make the field and all right. All right, well, we'll get the field made. We'll advance till it's time to that we can plant, which grass we can plant in March, so in 2 months. So we'll have to hold on to the planter for 2 months. Not ideal. Um, so we will probably definitely have to sell the Mac, um, but that's it's not a big deal to do that. So, but tell you what, I'm going to get this knocked out, and I'll bring you guys back once I get her done. So, alrighty. So I've got everything plowed, and when I was just about finished plowing, I thought of a way that I can make up for my mistake as far as going ahead and picking up the planter. And what that's going to be is jumping over into settings and all right, and turn seasonal growth off. Um, and once I get planted, I'll turn it back on. But this way, we can at least get it planted while we have the equipment. So, all right. So I'll get this planted, uh, and we're also going to be changing up our silos a little bit. I've actually already sold off the silo I had, um, and that's because I'm wanting to change the angle at what it's sitting at. That way, I can have a series of them in line and they match. So uh, that's my intention. But I want to get this knocked out right quick. It won't take me too long. So be right back. All right, so we got that planted. Now let's go ahead and return the planter and the plow. Um, I went ahead and unloaded the little bit of seed that we got left. So we got that unloaded. So let's jump over finance, vehicles, return, return. All right, so we got our two leased vehicles or piece of equipment returned. Let's jump out so we're not wasting fuel, and let's go ahead and rebuild or build out silos. So we had approximately 7 acres of grass before. We're added 30 acres, and we were actually my second mowing. I actually ran out of space in the silo. So I'm gonna go with 6 silos, um, so that I got just a little bit extra space, uh, and we'll go from there. First off, let's smooth this out just a little bit, and we're going to have to come back and smooth some more afterwards. But this at least gets us a start, making it look a little nicer. All right. Let's see if we can get this lined up about the same angle as the road is. All right. Now we could space these out, but I think I'm actually going to. Nah, yeah, we'll keep them spaced out. That way, if we need to get through between them or something. So So there's our six. And let's get things smoothed out. We are going to do a little bit of painting to um, make everything nice and neat looking. Yeah, we are losing a little bit of our mow, our harvestable land, workable land with doing this, but I would rather have things nice and neat and orderly. Let me do a little bit more smoothing here. Alrighty, so and the idea behind this is so that I can just bring the truck straight down, loading up, um, and going from there. So, uh, as I was mentioning earlier, because this truck has a fifth wheel on it, we really don't need to keep the Mac. So let's go ahead and sell the Mac. We'll get most of our money back out of it. Uh, so we'll get that. And I think we are going to just put a little repair shed, or not shed, but um, repair station. Um, we'll go with right there. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it. Um, yeah, let's. All right, there we go. So I think that's going to do it. Um, let's go ahead and just advance the time just so we could. Hang on. Did I change? We'll go ahead and advance time just so we can see our um, field having grown. And we'll have to advance a couple months here. March being the first month that it would we would normally be able to plant. That's also going to be the first month it's going to grow. So let's jump over to March. We'll probably actually have to go to um, we might actually have to go to April to actually see a difference. Yeah, let's go ahead and hit April. Um, we If the first growth stage is in April, then our first harvest would actually be able to be done in June, which would be, yeah, we'll go ahead and advance it to June. Well, hang on, no, yeah, we're still growing. As you can see, yield bonus is only a plus 35%, 0% fertilized. Um, we'll definitely have to uh, look at getting a spreader so we can do spread lime and fertilizer, but that's down the road. Um, but let's go one more month, and all right. So we're now in June, or should be, and we are ready for harvest for mowing. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, May. I don't know why I skipped May in my counting, but we're ready for harvest, and let's go ahead and hop in the truck. We'll get all set up, and we will get to mowing. So we've got, I'm going to add a couple extra headland slaps, um, just because of how tight it, or how difficult it's going to be for turning. So, but we're going to get this mowed, and so this setup, as you can see, we're cooking pretty decent speed. 35, 36. Oh, hang on, that's because I've got things unlocked. Um, let's. All right, so this is going to be the speed with it set, or speed limited by the equipment. So see how fast we can go that way. I still think we're going to be pretty good. 31 mile an hour. That's pretty decent. So now one thing we could do, when things get monotonous, we can definitely go and make things less realistic, and we could make the mower deck mow at a wider width type deal. Um, but um, that's a possibility of something we could do down the line if once we get into much bigger working. So, but I'll get this knocked out. It'll take me a little bit. Uh, we are still filling up the wagon pretty quick, but that's all right. We'll get things knocked out. So I'll bring you guys back when we're getting a little closer to or actually, I'll bring you guys back when we are emptying the wagon the first time. So be right back. Well, we hadn't filled it quite all the way up, But I figure since we're right here next to it, we might as well empty out. We've made the first pass, and like I said, since we're here, I figured we might as well go ahead and empty. Now, something that if we had the money for it, which we don't at the moment, uh, get silage additive and would get a little bit more silage for the amount of work or land we're working. Um, it's probably going to happen next harvest. Um, just not in the cards to do it on this harvest. So, but I'm going to get this knocked out. It's going to take me a bit, but like I said, I'll get her knocked out, and I'll tell you what I'll do I'll bring you guys back if I guessed correctly on how many silos I needed for this property or for this land, and we'll just find out. So I'm going to get this knocked out. It's going to take me a bit, but I'll get her knocked out, and we'll see how close I got. Alrighty, so we got that finished up, and turns out that I guessed pretty darn close. So let's see, let's get all these turned on. Activate. Activate. So last silo, 88,000 liters in it. So, like I said, I guessed pretty close, pretty accurate. And so our next step is just going to be wait a month, so we can haul the silage off. Now, I am going to see if, let me just pull up under, seeing how it's already given me the prompt on the help menu. Should be no issues with it. And I'm too close. Yeah. I could actually just use this trailer. So that's what we might end up doing. Might just use this trailer for hauling the silage to the sell point, and just go from there. What was happening is that back corner was catching just right. It was just barely tall enough on the one because of the difference in elevation between where the truck was sitting and um, that conveyor. So, but truck's pretty dirty. We burned through a pretty good bit of gas. So we're going to need to look at fueling up next month. But I think we're going to take care of that next month. Um, but I do think I'm going to call this episode here. I want to say thank you all for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, follow, leave a comment. And I really hope to catch you guys next time. Take care. Have yourselves a wonderful day.